The Fanfiction Power Hour is a comedy podcast between friends that does not attempt straightforward readings. The links to the fanfictions are in the description if you would prefer an unaltered experience and to support the authors by giving the stories a like. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. I'm your host, Ross Pitt, Shark Hunter. And with me today, as always, is my co-host, Wizzy Puff. Say hello, Wizzy.
Thank you. I am the, great Wizzy Puff, as aforementioned.
Whoa.
I've recently become very big in Hollywood, so I must keep up appearances now.
I've recently come into a big fortune. Now my microphone, I've bumped it and ruined everything.
No! That cost you a small fortune.
This is the podcast where I take my wonderful friend Wizzy into the magical journey of My Little Pony fanfiction. And today, on the last week of November, we're going to be reading, I suppose, the last normal thing for the year. No, the 26th of December, we're going to have, I guess, a normal day. But that depends on if I want to do like an episode on Christmas Eve and Christmas as well. Then we might skip your birthday episode.
No, my birthday episode.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Depends on how we're feeling during the holidays.
Well, how was your birthday?
Oh yeah, my birthday. It was great.
Nice.
People said happy birthday to me, and I ate food and worked and went to sleep.
Did you get a cake?
Not on my birthday, but today I did, which is, my birthday is November 22nd, which you might remember as the day that JFK died.
Oh, dang! I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, then it's also I believe it's the premiere for Doctor Who, which was overshadowed by the JFK assassination.
They had to really re-edit that episode after the assassination.
Yep. Anyways, yeah. November 22nd, greatest day of all time. Yeah, it was good. I got a shark blanket thing.
Ooh.
Where it looks like a shark and you can like step into it and like pretend to be a shark. And it's great.
Yeah. So like you skinned a shark and is wearing its body?
Yes. That's exactly it.
Perfect.
It's very cute and I like it.
Nice.
But other than that, yeah, my birthday has been fine.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, I released that crossover on my birthday, I'm pretty sure. No, it was the day before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the day before.
Yeah. What a nice pre-birthday present.
Yep. I said crossover, the guest episode I might talk about.
Yeah.
Crossover.
It's a crossover of a sort.
Ish, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I did get cake, and that was all good.
Sweet. The cake was not a lie.
I am now officially older than Wizzy again.
No!
25,
I need
baby.
to age. My friends are so much older than me.
I have a fully developed brain now.
Man, you can rent a car and I can't.
So, today we are going to be reading Green Flag Go by Rune Soldier Dan. Yeah, I am excited for this one. I don't know. If you were wondering why I'm so excited, it's the same reason that I was excited for Just Us, because I have just some deep problems right now.
Need the mommy fix?
Yes, basically. I have deep maternal instincts right now. And I need some sort of release for that.
Yeah, it's the next best thing to actually having a baby in your life.
Yep. Ugh, I want a baby in my life.
You know, when you can't just get a baby from the convenience store for a bit, this is pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, exciting. This is Green Flag Go by Rune Soldier Dan. Chapter: Green Flag Go. In the privacy of her thoughts, Spitfire likened having a lover to running a race. There were moments of strain and exhilaration, the highs of strong performance and adulation, and it never lasted long. She was 5 dates into her romance with Rainbow Dash and had no expectations of this one being any different.
What? Spitfire's dating Rainbow Dash in this one?
Yeah, okay, Wizzy, did you think, I know for a fact that you looked at the tags, did you think that the romance was between other characters? Because the characters that it says, it ain't looking good for that.
The genre tags were not part of my... I didn't think about them. I was not thinking about them. I did not realize this was going to be a romance fic.
I think it'll probably focus more on the slice of life bit.
I think that Spitfire seems more like a mentor to Rainbow Dash, at least from the information I've gathered. But, maybe they're actually more romantic than I thought. I did just discover that crystal ponies were a thing like 5 episodes ago.
Which is so weird. But, okay, so let's just say that no, I don't think Spitfire would be considered a mentor to Rainbow Dash.
Okay.
They should be around the same age according to the episode that introduces Rainbow Dash's parents.
Oh.
Yep.
Does it show them like as babies at the same time?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
And also, speaking of the tags, Rune Soldier Dan, this doesn't have the human tag, but I'm pretty sure these are human characters, especially with the thing about, well, A, the cover art, but B, having to run a race. That's very much, they would be flying if they were ponies. Maybe Rune Soldier Dan just hates the human tag. Have you ever seen Rune Soldier Dan use the human tag? I think not.
Not that I have. But, maybe this is just semantics. Maybe run means fly in this situation. Maybe the picture is just a coincidence.
Also, human is in the genre tags.
What?
Yep.
I mean, I guess it kind of fits there more than any of the other places, but that seems like a weird thing to call a genre.
I would put it in the content warning tag.
Warning humans.
Yuck. There were flags with girlfriends, just like a race. Green flags were good. Red flags were deal breakers. Yellow flags were okay until enough built up. Spitfire's rule was to end things at 3 yellow flags before the piling annoyances made it impossible to stand each other. A breakup to do after a nice lunch of little hints, followed by the inevitable lie to remain friends. Last week, Rainbow was at 2. Today, 3. There was a nice lunch in their future.
Oh no.
Not that it was Rainbow's fault. One flag was the age difference, 34 to 22. Spitfire had aged out of frontline duty voluntarily, coming to value the stability of an office job. Rainbow hadn't even hit her stride. She was a younger mirror, which was a little creepy to think about, given their relationship. Hence the yellow flag. Spitfire was cool and reserved, enjoying the dates while they lasted. Rainbow was brash and affectionate, struck hard with the worst case of puppy love Spitfire had ever seen. It was embarrassing, the way Rainbow fawned over her in the delusion that their love was more special than anyone else's. Immature, silly, just like Spitfire once was. Number 2 was that Rainbow wasn't smart. This one was her fault. 2 tickets for drunk flying. Okay, never mind then. I guess they might have something going on. Or maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe they're in the Air Force. I don't know.
It's very unclear.
God damn you, Rune Soldier Dad.
Imagine the picture has one human, one is a pony.
It's so wait a minute. The way the picture looks, like it actually looks like wings are spreading out of Spitfire there, so it makes it even more confusing. I can't tell if it's just light or what.
Where's Scootaloo's wings then?
That's a good point. And her jacket. They're so tiny and pointless, they don't need to, like, come out. All right. 2 tickets for drunk flying. That the last was over 6 months ago didn't soften Spitfire's annoyance. Rainbow argued with trainers and stayed up late before races. And someone needed to kick her ass about money, or she'd end up broke despite the 6-figure salary. Maybe that could be a post-breakup conversation. A little way to show Spitfire still cared. Because she did. Rainbow was great. She'd bounce back and find someone a little closer to her age, and they could grow up and grow old together. She was passionate, a great team player, an ideas girl who wanted to take Spitfire on adventures around the world and back, always coming up with neat ideas for their dates. That last one was a huge green flag, who wanted to go to dinner all the time. Escape rooms, zoos, and water parks kept things fresh. And the puppy love wasn't all bad. The notes in Spitfire's locker, the loving looks over the dinner table. The 3rd flag came so unexpectedly, Spitfire didn't know if it was yellow or red. Not that it mattered. It was Rainbow standing before her desk the other day with pressed palms. Okay, here we go. Solving the mystery. Palms, strictly human thing.
Yep.
All right. It was Rainbow standing before her desk the other day with pressed palms and bowed head, as though already begging forgiveness. I had to leave with Princess Twilight tomorrow. I didn't pay attention to why.
Okay, so Princess Twilight. That means this is definitely ponies.
Or it could just be that it is, like, it's not Equestria Girls. That we know. So it could be that they just live in a monarchy as humans, and she's part of the Royal Air Force or whatever.
That could be. Could be some kind of weird mix, because that cover art definitely makes it seem human. And I mean, the friggin' palms word just one line before.
I don't know. I didn't expect to be this confused over this.
Yeah, I guess that's not the point of this fic.
We're going to make it the point of this fic. Something about a maple syrup golem trying to destroy Van Hoover. Okay, so magic definitely exists. Okay.
And Van Hoover...
Fuck.
But they still don't talk about hooves or anything like that.
Not
anything
yet.
horse-like besides Van Hoover.
It's also Equestria, I see.
They don't talk about horse bodies.
Yeah, they haven't yet, which, well, to be fair, when have they gotten the time? I don't know. Maybe it's Anthro.
It could be.
Spitfire distinctly remembered giving a shrug. One of the costs of recruiting a paragon of Equestria was working around their schedule, saving the world or whatever. It was Wonderbolt's policy to not press for details. And my usual babysitter fell through, so can you watch Scootaloo until I get back? That got questions. Spitfire knew the name. Actually, Rainbow talked about her on every date. The glory-hungry Rainbow's first fan from before she was a Wonderbolt, or even a Paragon. That Rainbow paid so much attention to a fan with a sob story always felt a little yellow flaggy, but clearly it was more than even that. Yeah, I've been looking out for her, you know. The Ponyville orphanage kind of sucks, so I've been helping her with homework, cooking for her, big sister kind of stuff like that. Okay, so Scootaloo is not an orphan in the show.
Oh, confirmed?
Yeah, that was confirmed.
Oh, I thought it was ambiguous.
No, her parents just really aren't around all that much. They weren't introduced until the 9th season.
I think I remember you saying something about that, actually.
Yeah. She mainly lives with her. Well, she lived on her own, basically,
Yeah, that's right.
but went to her aunts a lot. Her lesbian aunts.
Boom! And now this is her other lesbian aunts.
Yeah. Well, lesbian big sister.
Yeah.
Spitfire had a big sister who had never cooked for her or helped with school. She inhaled a breath to tell Rainbow to just send her to the orphanage, then let it out. There was every reason to say no. Spitfire didn't do kids, and to be asked to care for one after going so long without felt vaguely like an insult. I don't like her. The orphanage provided an obvious backup, so she wouldn't be saving the kid's life or anything. And Rainbow, being a surrogate mother, felt like something that should have come up on the first date, not suddenly dropped onto Spitfire's back along with some brat for a day. I hate this woman.
Right?
That entire paragraph made me hate her.
She's so inconsiderate. I'm pretty sure she's just in an angry moment right now because she's supposed to be taking care of this kid for the day. It's going to change her mind. We're going to like her by the end of this. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't care if people are child free. That's fine. I do not like that attitude towards kids in general. You don't know Scootaloo. Don't call her a brat, you fucking ass.
It's just like completely blaming this random orphan for falling into your life. And it's like, wow, thanks a lot. Now I can't go on my drunk flying date with Rainbow Dash.
No, she wouldn't drink while flying. That I do appreciate.
Isn't that what they said earlier?
Rainbow Dash would, not Spitfire.
Oh, I thought they were doing that together.
No. The red flag was that Rainbow Dash did that at all.
Oh.
Or not the red flag, the yellow flag.
I thought that was like a date thing. They were drinking and flying together, and that was like it's dangerous. But I didn't realize it was just rape. That's like sadder, you know?
Yeah. It wasn't fair. And it rankled Spitfire to realize in that moment it particularly wasn't fair to Rainbow. Leaving once more to save the world or whatever, asking what was in the grand scheme of things a tiny favor from the girlfriend she had no idea was looking up places for a nice lunch. Only a selfish loser would refuse. Spitfire was selfish, not a loser.
That's a good distinction.
Mm-hmm. So it was that she found herself with a pocket full of notes along with Rainbow's keys, standing outside the Ponyville schoolhouse like some creep in a movie. The bell rang. An army of screaming brats tumbled out, drawing a flinch from Spitfire. She'd been in stadiums before the cheers of tens of thousands, but the banshee wail children could make was something else entirely. At least Scootaloo seemed to be one of the more normal ones, relatively speaking. The match for the provided photo coasted out of the school on a scooter, of all things, hopping it with practiced ease down the 4 steps to the sidewalk. She cast her gaze around before finding Spitfire and buzzing over. Buzzing. Wings. They're bumblebees.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding.
Or is this just Scootaloo? Because she has the tiny wings.
Literally buzzing, in fact, propelled by twin blurs at her back. It was beyond clear the girl's tiny wings would never carry her any distance. A birth defect that could upend a whole Pegasus family. The kind of kid parents see that makes them appreciate how their own children turned out right.
Oh, that just sounds so eugenics.
Yuck. Scootaloo made do. Spitfire could give her that. She cooked on that scooter, doing all the steering and propulsion with those wings, even using them to power 2-second flights over obstacles. She hopped off, and the scooter was half folded in her arms before she hit the ground. Miss Spitfire?
Just Spitfire for you, kid.
Spitfire shot her a canned smile for the fans. I hear you're taking me home. Rainbow's house was home,
That's right. You ready?
1 sec. A bit of fidgeting brought Scootaloo's folded scooter into her backpack. Yep, ready. What came next was weird for Spitfire, but there was no getting around it. She wrapped her arms around the kid and took off into the air. Ponyville's mixed population meant a good amount of cloud homes hovered above the town, but Rainbow's gaudy decorations stood out easily. Wait a second.
Hey, kid.
I've got a name, the kid called against the rushing wind. Oh, sorry. I've got a name. Spitfire grunted. Orphan, a little prickly about being dismissed and generalized. That all tracked.
Scootaloo, you can walk on clouds, right?
I'm a Pegasus, Scootaloo replied. And I've been staying there for months, so yeah.
Cool, but what if there's an emergency or something and Rainbow can't get you down?
My wings can slow me enough to land safely. Scootaloo gave them an unwise buzz, pushing the pair a little off course. Believe me, I've tested. That was stupid of her. So, a very Scootaloo thing to do.
She pushed you out of the house?
What? No. Scootaloo gave a half laugh, unsure if Spitfire was serious. I've tried a few stunts on the cliffs out back, and they were way higher than Rainbow's house. Spitfire caught herself.
That was,
Pretty stupid, I know. Rainbow already chewed me out for it. Rainbow being a stickler for safety was surprising, given her behavior in the Wonderbolts. All the more so because Pegasi kids didn't usually have to worry about heights.
Can you reach the house without her?
Miss Cheerilee lets me store a few clouds in the basement. I can kind of surf them up. Scootaloo shuffled in her grip, but I don't have the keys.
No problem, kid. I gotcha.
Cool mist brushed against Spitfire's face as she came up through the cloud porch before landing on it.
I mean, Scootaloo.
She held her breath as she took out the key. This part she dreaded even more than watching a strange kid. Rainbow's dorm was a pigsty on a good day. What her house must look like. The door swung. Spitfire sniffed from the entrance. Nothing, save the fresh scent of cloud furniture. Stepping inside revealed no mess. No piles of unwashed clothes. No holes in the walls hastily patched by loose clouds. No dishes in the sink. In fact, the counter smelled like lemon.
She doesn't make you clean, does she?
Lol, nope. Children.
Lol.
Oh, the kids, the young'uns, and their slang.
I have to wonder if in the future lol is actually going to be, like, people are going to say that spokenly, unironically.
I have to imagine so.
Yep.
It only makes sense. Scootaloo had already strolled in like she owned the place. I mean, she says I'm supposed to wash my own dishes and make my own bed, but she doesn't go crazy if I forget sometimes.
So Rainbow cleans this place.
We don't have a maid, so yeah. Spitfire gazed around, still marveling. Mopped floors, not even any dust on the television.
Wow and wow again. At the dorm, we find her socks in the Celestia blessed sink. I thought at first they were literally talking about a special sink that was blessed by Celestia.
Hallelujah. That's my type of sink.
It's like the fountain of youth.
It's because she's so busy, Scootaloo said with perfect certainty. The place was really messy when I first came over, but by the time she got my bedroom set up, it was like this. Spitfire opened the fridge, split evenly between a Wonderbolt's strict diet and more kid-friendly foods.
No beer?
No, Scootaloo said with a defensive edge. Rainbow doesn't drink, does she?
I guess not.
Spitfire murmured. Memories of Rainbow's drunken blush came to mind, then were pushed aside.
I like relaxing after work with the beer, that's all.
Doesn't that go against the Wonderbolt diet?
Sure, but I'm what they call a has-been. The pride in that.
Scootaloo helped herself to 3 cookies from a jar. Well, Rainbow thinks you're great. She won't stop talking about you.
Speak for yourself.
Spitfire mumbled distractedly as she snatched the instructions from her pocket. There, item 13. 3 cookies for an after-school snack. There were a lot of instructions. Spitfire really should have read them earlier. Now who's the idiot? Anyway,
she talks about you, too.
Scootaloo shot her a gap-toothed grin. We should talk about her, just to get even. Damn it, kid.
Sure thing.
It's adorable. Spitfire said blandly. Honestly, though, bonding with the kid right before she breaks up with Rainbow seemed a bit too cruel to both of them. On the other hand... Well, Spitfire wasn't sure what was on the other hand. She excused herself to the bathroom, marveling yet more as she passed to the back of the house. Framed photos of Rainbow's parents and of Scootaloo, including a trip all 4 of them took to Winnie World. A clean bathroom with no crud in the shower and the lid down. Spitfire caught her own eyes in the mirror and quirked her eyebrows.
Rainbow, it's great that you're really wholesome with the kid, but would it kill you to bring some of this to work?
Sweet Celestia, wholesome, didn't even cover it. She snooped discreetly while Scootaloo did her homework. A neatly made bed with clothes folded in their proper drawers. A far messier second room with new orange paint decorated with posters of movies and daredevils. Her eyes lingered on the latter, famous skateboarders and stunt divers. Not a Pegasus to be seen except for 2 of Rainbow Dash, one as a Wonderbolt and one for some local sports team. Spitfire's snooping took her to Rainbow's office. She figured as her girlfriend she had the right. Yeah, you do. You're planning on breaking up with her, you bitch.
She has the right to snoop through all her stuff before they're even moved in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, actually, that she adopted Scootaloo here, but didn't even move in with Spitfire first.
Well, technically, Scootaloo I don't think is adopted, but she's basically adopted.
Oh, is she just taking care of her from the orphanage right now?
Basically.
Okay.
That's how I got it.
Huh. I thought that this was like, she had taken her from the orphanage, and she was like, or like, I thought this was like, she got her after her parents died, and then she was like, you should send her to the orphanage, and she's like, no, I'm taking her.
Yeah, no, they definitely explained that she went to the orphanage.
Okay.
But she basically spends all her time here.
As anyone would want to.
Mm-hmm. The inevitable stack of fan mail rookies always take it upon themselves to answer until they get overwhelmed. A few letters to and from Scootaloo's teachers, one of which promising to chaperone for a field trip. Forms traded back and forth with the adoption agency and orphanage. Ooh. And a few unfinished, cheesy love letters to Spitfire.
Ooh.
She sighed, smiled, returned to the kitchen to find the kids still at work.
She makes you do homework as soon as you get out, huh?
Yeah. Scootaloo made a farting noise with her mouth. She checks to make sure I really do it, too. Not like she can check that you do it right, though. Because she's so stupid.
They've gotten up to the 7th grade. That's past Rainbow's expertise.
A thought hit Spitfire, and she grinned.
Well, hey, she's not home right now. What do you want to do instead?
Skate park, Scootaloo said instantly. It's usually too dark at this time of year by the time I finish the homework. Jesus Christ. How could Rainbow Dash do that?
Right? Like, come on, let her do the homework in the dark.
Yeah.
Good thing you never took off your jacket. Come on, get your stuff.
You sure?
Didn't she tell you?
Spitfire smirked with one side of her mouth.
I'm the cool, irresponsible one in the relationship. It's her own fault for having me watch you.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Sitting on the park bench, Spitfire rolled her eyes.
Luna's forgiveness. That was the cringiest midlife crisis thing I've ever said.
Why did she say that? Wasn't the plan to just sort of tolerate the kid until Rainbow gets back? Spitfire silently justified it to herself as revenge against her girlfriend. Shows her right for telling the cool butch lesbian to babysit an impressionable young girl. They were going to get fast food for dinner. None of those balanced meals Rainbow inevitably fed her. Then Spitfire will hold her tight and take her through lots of wild stunts. Scootaloo will geek out at how awesome Spitfire is. Then, when responsible Rainbow complains, Spitfire will turn the tables and tell her to ease off on homework time. Much better to work around the kids' hobbies than enforce what sitcoms say are good parental habits.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn it, he really is making me like Spitfire now. I'm still not a fan of initially calling Scootaloo a brat, but...
Yeah, she was just angry.
Fine, whatever. I'll take character development. That's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
It was just in her head. She would never say it to her face.
Sure. I guess that is better. Parental. That was right. Not just wholesome. It was beyond obvious that Rainbow had fallen for Scootaloo well past seeing her as a fan. Enough to clean up her act on the home front. And now that Spitfire thought of it, the last drunk flying charge was a long time ago. No red flags here. No dumbass Rainbow just using the kid as a praise singer. Yellow flag at worst. At worst, she pushed down the conundrum, focusing instead on Scootaloo's antics. Ain't no yellow flags here. None at all, I'd say. She pushed down the conundrum, focusing instead on Scootaloo's antics. Spitfire was always one to quickly get bored watching others perform, but her curiosity, both for the kid and the art, spurred her interest. Scooters weren't exactly a common Pegasus toy, but Scootaloo drove hers like a part of her body, skidding, twirling, leaping up gaps and ramps, then using her wings for mid-air maneuvers or extra bursts. Normal Pegasi wings were too big for such tight twists and quick accelerations. She commented on it when Scootaloo wailed over for a drink.
Crazy cool style, Scoots. You make it all up yourself?
Not really. I watch a lot of videos. Rune Soldier Dan, are you trying to kill me? They don't have videos in Equestria.
Oh man, this is definitely an original universe type thing.
But are they all ponies or somewhat human? What are these fuckers?
Part human, part pony, part bee.
Part Rune Soldier Dan, you're gonna get it someday. I watch a lot of videos and sometimes I hang out with other kids with wheels.
But the wings and all, no one could have taught you that.
Yeah, but it was Rainbow who really pushed me to make it my thing. She gave her wings a quick buzz. No one else can do it, you know? Except the ones who are born like me. Actually, that's why Rainbow... Scootaloo swallowed hard, gazing towards the setting sun. I want to make it big as a stunt performer. At first, it was just because it's what I want to do, but Rainbow said if I do that, then all the Pegasi who got born like me will have someone to look up to. Someone who is like them, who still went on to be cool and awesome, even though they couldn't fly. Kinda stupid, honestly. She sniffed wetly and grinned. I always looked up to Rainbow, flying or no. But it's cool that she thinks I can, like, be Rainbow Dash for some other ponies. She's setting me up with professional instructors and everything.
I'm gonna marry that pony.
Spitfire kept that to herself.
That's incredible. She really is. I mean, all that really is.
You weren't wrong. She's incredible, too.
Ooh, someone's gonna steal your girl.
Gross.
No doubt there.
Spitfire mumbled, then raised her voice.
Couple more minutes, okay? We gotta think about dinner. Is Hey Burger King okay for you? Are Hey Burgers like a canonical item, or is it only in fan fiction?
They are. They're a thing.
Okay. I didn't realize they would have had Hey Burgers as a thing in the show.
Wait, you think they haven't thought about that?
No.
Come on.
It makes sense, but it also sounds like a thing that easily could have been made up in fan fiction, too. Especially Hey Burger King.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that it was in fan fiction beforehand.
Oh.
Because they did take a while to mention it in the show. But, like, it would have been more of a coincidence thing. Just because I think Hey Burger would be, like, an obvious thing to do for, like, a pony food item.
I wasn't even thinking about it like hamburger for some reason. My mind was just like, oh, it's a hay burger. It's the word hay attached to burger.
Actually, yeah, me neither. Or me too. Well, that's where I didn't think about that either, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Scootaloo hesitated. I think Rainbow said she left a casserole in the fridge.
Then she can eat it.
Spitfire winked.
I'm the cool girlfriend, remember?
Scootaloo's laugh melted something in her. Spitfire weirdly felt like she was about to cry. She watched the young pony pack her scooter, gripped onto her tightly, and launched them from the ground. Scootaloo screamed with joy as Spitfire twirled them through the air, just a little faster than Rainbow would ever take her. Author's note. Thank you for reading, and Chim, I hope you enjoyed it. And then it's got a little Scootaloo halo emoji.
Thank you, Ring Soldier Dan. I did enjoy it.
Wizzy, you've been Chim this whole time?
Many know me as the name Chim.
Written for Chimchurri for the Ponyville Arts Center Discord gift exchange.
Oh, this was a gift for someone. That's nice.
Also, I did forget to read the specific part of the description. Quasi-human characters, including human Pegasi with wings. Well.
Oh, okay.
I only really read the description that it has when you click on the chapter.
Yeah, that was me too.
My bad.
It explains it right there.
All right, well, Dan, I suppose there we go. That's how I was imagining them anyways, so.
That's kind of what it looks like from the fan art picture thing. I guess that would be called fan art.
Yeah.
Just the cover art for the story. But I'm also a little bit confused about that because it doesn't show Scootaloo's cute little bug wings, and I wish it would.
Well, they're too tiny. You can't really see it with her arm, like...
Yeah.
They're not really bug wings.
I know, but it described them as that.
Did? Yeah. Anyways, that was Green Flag Go by Rune Soldier Dan. Well, Wizzy, what did we think about it?
I thought that this one was, like, really sweet. I really liked how it was describing her melting over Scootaloo in the end.
Yeah.
And, like, Scootaloo even saved the relationship without even knowing it.
Holy shit, you're right. I forgot that she was even planning on breaking up with her. Like, when she broke into Rainbow Dash's office, that was, like, the last time I remember even thinking about that possibility.
No chance after learning about Scootaloo that she could end things.
Yeah, I think that was lovely. I really did like it, and that definitely... that was a good... I know she's described as more of a sister. That was a good Mother Dash fic, weirdly enough.
She definitely has like a maternal role in this one.
Yeah. Gosh, more people need to write Rainbow Dash as a mother. I don't know what it is, but that's like the best. That's like when you have a really good pairing of characters for like a romance fic. That's what it feels like. It's just Rainbow Dash. Whether or not she would actually make a good mother as presented in the show, I don't know. It just works for some reason. I like it.
Yeah. Seems like Rainbow Dash just has a lot of things that she's irresponsible about, but this is something that would make her really step up and take responsibility.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't believe that she would make for a good mom, but I definitely think that she would. I think that Rainbow Dash has shown enough responsibility around children in the show that I think that she would make a good mom. Not Rainbow Dash from Equestria Girls. Let's be clear about that. But definitely main show Rainbow Dash.
I mean, that one Equestria Girl, the one we were just talking about. Why can't I remember the name?
Just Us?
Yeah, Just Us. That's like Equestria Girl's Mommy Dash, but she's not bad at
Not
that.
Equestria Girls, actually.
That wasn't?
Nope.
That was just
You
human?
can tell because she was, she had normal skin color.
What's that supposed to... Oh, I see what you did.
She wasn't blue.
I forgot that they have colorful skin in Equestria Girls, honestly.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's to really make sure you know these are not real humans as we know them.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Spitfire. That was a very good character progression, I think. Like, I really did not like her at the start of this. Certain people who just hate kids in general, I want to strangle them. But like, it never really said that she hated kids, but she felt like a child-free Redditor, if you know what that is.
Yeah, she like started out with like kids and me don't mix or something, and then she like called Scootaloo a brat and stuff and was blaming Rainbow Dash for ruining their relationship by bringing Scootaloo.
Yeah.
I have to wonder how many of those child-free types could be changed if they were in this scenario, though.
I mean, I don't know. Probably less than half at the fair.
But some...
Sure, a few. I don't... Like, usually, they're pretty dead set on being fine with no kids. Although some of them mainly just don't like the younger ones.
I like to imagine that even though someone says they don't like a kid, they don't mean it. You can't hate a kid.
Yeah, I can understand not being good around kids and not wanting to be around them.
Yeah.
In general, like, yes, kids are annoying, but the idea they hate kids as like a concept is something that is thrown around far too much in the child-free community from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And as someone who wants to be a parent very badly, that hurts to see.
Yeah. And I think that Spitfire in this fan fiction was definitely a good example of just a person who becomes a parent because of circumstance, not because they wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's like a good example of how even if you don't like kids, they'll find a way to make you like them if you let them.
Yeah.
And that seems like a really good lesson.
If a child is thrust into your life and it's impossible to get away to kindly remove them from your life, then yeah, start liking kids. Sorry, but them's the rules.
Don't got a choice at that point.
It's either start trying to like them or, oh boy, they're going to have a bad time and I won't feel bad for you.
Oh, and this cover art, as amazing as it is, another thing that's amazing about it is that it looks like butch lesbian Mercy is going down on one knee to take a child's hand. Of course, it's Mercy from Overwatch for all of those people born after 2017.
Yes. And that is a great description. That's one of my favorite pieces of art, I think.
It's really good. Does Rune Soldier Dan do all this art? Because they don't credit anyone on the fic.
Hold on, let me see here. So I pressed it in a weird way, and I don't know. There we go. DeviantArt. This is Baki, Bakki.
Okay, so this isn't original art?
I guess not.
Man, gotta start crediting the artists, Dan.
Yeah, unlike us.
Hey, we credit the artists every time.
We credit the authors.
Oh, you mean...
Authors aren't artists.
Words are not art, unless it's ASCII art.
Dan, if you're listening to this, and I know you are not an artist.
It's talking about how good this fic is, and then you have to go into a screed about how Rune Soldier Dan is pretentious.
Rune Soldier Dan does seem kind of pretentious in their writing. Like, they seem like a cool bloke from their blogs and stuff. But writing-wise, a little bit pretentious.
A little bit. But maybe that creates some of the best art.
Still, some of my favorite stuff that we've read is from him, so...
Yeah.
Thank you, Rune Soldier Dan, yet again. I don't know if you know this, Dan, but we have read 3 other stories from you. I know that you know about Dungeon Master Applejack and I Daybreaker. We also read To Try for the Sun. I don't know if you know about that, Danny boy. And yeah, now this is number 4. I think Short Skirts and Explosions still beating you, but who knows? Maybe we'll read some more from you and stop reading from them.
They really are the top 2 in the podcast right now.
There's also Eileen Says Hi, who we've read a lot of.
I was going to say.
So, good stuff, Rune Soldier Dan, and thank you all for listening. And I guess, well, we're going to have to get ready, Wizzy. I think we're going to have to deck the halls.
Oh boy.
Fa la 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 la.
Man, gonna have to read the sequel to this where it's Rainbow and Spitfire with Scootaloo on Christmas.
Oh my god, that sounds so cute. Dan.
Right?
Dan, please.
I was thinking that would make it even cuter.
Dan, I'm begging you, do that. Dan. I'm gonna start talking to Dan like we're besties.
It'd be like saying things to Tom.
This isn't Parasocial at all, Dan. Dan. Goodbye, Dan.
Bye, Dan, the person who's viewing this. Not to any of the other audience.
Just you and me, Dan. Just you and me.
See ya!
Spitfire didn't do kids. That's a red flag for me.
Wait, that she didn't do kids?
Well, I guess it would be a green flag to not
You know, I think doing kids is kind of wrong, Ross.
Wizzy, you little shit. You know what I mean.